Okay, back to the Model A project here. I just put the engine back in there. I'd had it out to remove the pan and put in fix the rear main, and ended up putting a clutch disc in it as well. While the engine was out, I modified the front cross member. It's the original front cross member, but it's been raised 1 inch through the center. It still has the stock camber, for caster of 7-degree tilt back. And then you'll notice on the back side of the cross member where the engine mounts, I separated the cross member, removed a piece, and raised that up 2 inches so I could raise the engine up in the frame for better ground clearance. While the frame was out, I used Por 15 while the engine was out, I used Por 15 on the frame, and on the outer surfaces, I didn't want it like black Por 15, so what I did was I painted it and then took paper towels and wiped most of it off. So it gives a glaze of the Por 15, but not the full color. You see here I've got 44 spindles and the original Model A spring perches. Still, they haven't been modified at all yet, and I'm just setting this up. I still need to notch the frame because I lowered this thing and I have a drop spring as well. I need to notch the frame up to allow the spring to travel up into the frame. I'll move to the other side so you can kind of see that a little bit better. Right here you can see that the cross member is up real close to the frame, so I'm going to take a little notch up like this and across and down, and that'll allow clearance and be right back in Fat City. I was going to weld in the cross member, but I don't know, I've kind of decided I'm going to bolt it in. So I'm going to get some nice fine threaded bolts, maybe grade 8, and put that together with some, it's got 2, 4, 7 bolts per side. That should hold it together. To raise the rear of the motor, I used the original mounts. I kind of really scratched my head about this when I finally decided to use the original type mounts, cut a 1/4 inch off the end, and then add this plate to raise it up 2 inches. So the engine and transmission is raised up 2 inches relative to the frame all the way around. And then that way I could use the original rear motor mount type brackets for the Model A, which I just think are kind of cool. Just kind of gives it a retro feel. Anyway, the Model A project here is coming along. I'm liking it. Get changing over to hydraulic brakes, and I got to get a chopped radiator to come down so that it's at the right height for the cowl, since the Model T cowl is actually about 2.5 or 3 inches lower than a Model A cowl. So I'm going to get a dropped radiator, and then I'll put a screen in the front of it and just drop the shell, leave the shell stock and rough looking probably, and then drop it down to the right height so that I get nice flow on the body lines. Right now the ass end is sitting way up high, and it's going to come down a good 6 inches. But anyway, and then also, so the next step here in the front is the frame notches in the front for the spring I was talking about. I got to split the wishbone, which is just sitting under there right now on blocks. So they'll come out to the frame rails. And then I'll be going to the back of the car to Z the rear of the frame. You get that suspension dropped, and I actually have a 40 Ford rear end. I'm considering using the 40 Ford rear end and radius rods in the rear to drop it down. Let's see how that goes. Anyway, a little update. Take care.